Ladies and gentlemen, what I've noticed lately is that there are two groups of people that are against whatever is going on in the AES. Number one, the politicians. Yes, the ones that were arrested and some of maybe their family members that were in France or something. They are the ones really going against this movement, and I think they have even employed some more people to help them propagate their propagandas against the government of the AES. And secondly, the group of people you have are the foreign nation. The foreign nation is even more evil, but it is the contribution of these politicians. The way a politician thinks is that the money belongs to them. Whatever revenue they tell you that they generate is divided into two. I think the minerals go to the foreign nations, and I think the returns belongs to the politician. At least that is how they used to see it, that whatever they get at the end of the day belongs to the politician. If you look at the salary of some of these politicians, seriously outrageous. Now, when you hear the likes of General Michael Langley talking about Burkina being the epicenter of terrorism, when you hear about talking about ISIS, talking about Al-Qaeda, talking about JNIM, he mentioned a lot of terrorist organizations to the point where I was struck, like, what is going on? So now let's look at the people that are truly sponsoring terrorists and the people that are actually training them for different purposes. Shall we?
We trained Al-Qaeda,
Yes.
to fight the Russians. We trained Saddam's forces to fight the Iranians.
Correct.
After we helped overthrow their government. And then we had to create Jaish al-Mahdi, or the Mahdi army under Muqtada al-Sadr's dad, to fight back against Saddam Hussein. And then we invaded Iraq, and then we created this organization called the Sons of Iraq to fight Jaish al-Mahdi, and the Sons of Iraq turned into ISIS.
I did not know that.
And then we funded ISIS. Yeah, I was like, my unit was one of the first ones to train these assholes in 2007, and then we funded both ISIS and Al-Qaeda in Syria to fight the Syrian government.
That I knew, yeah.
So it's like, we've done all of it.
So for those citizens that are still happy about the gains of the terrorists and all of that, just remember one thing. The troops of your nation, they are your final frontier. Once they fall, you will be the next. You will be the next. I know that not everybody is outside the country. Some of you still have relatives inside the country. So whatever happened to these people, it will touch you. So don't have a feeling like, okay, everything is just gonna be, purple hibiscus and the rest. These troops are trying their best, putting their lives on the line, and you can't just sit back there and pray that these people die because you've not been able to get some amount of money or whatever. Are you not happy that the nation is developing or something? I don't get why people are always very excited about bad things happening. So you can realize that AFRICOM should not even be in Africa at all. There should be that organization should be cancelled. But the fight against terrorism is very difficult, to be honest with you. The fight against terrorism is very difficult until Africa unites. When we are talking about this Africa uniting, it has a meaning. Okay, imagine all the West African countries, all of them. Imagine they had good presidents that are working in unity. What do you think would have happened to these terrorists? It would have been so easy. Imagine the military of Togo, the military of Benin, the military of Ivory Coast, the military of Nigeria, Chad, Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali. Everybody's encircling these terrorists. All the militaries all together. What do you think will happen to these terrorists? And I'm telling you, within a week, the operation will be done. The Desert Storm will be done in 1 week. That is if all the African presidents unite. So when you hear about Ibrahim Traore talking about Africa must unite, he knows what he's saying. But this fight is just going to get increasingly more difficult as long as they still have, poor people, impoverished people that they can sponsor and put their life on the line. So I mean, it's always difficult to almost annihilate these terrorists, and they run through the border of another country, taking refuge in those countries. Togo is an example. Even though the Togolese government are trying to fight back, but it's going to be difficult. is going to be difficult, because the reason why some of these foreign leaders, all these Nigerian leaders or all those other countries cannot really resist is because I feel like they are knee deep in the whole thing. I think they've taken some very bad steps, and if they try to deviate, they will be exposed, and I think severe actions is going to be taken against them. And I just feel like at this point they are locked in. They have to either fall in line or get thrown off. So, well, but in my own opinion, I believe it is more important for everybody to not think in a very parochial way. We all need to join hands together, talk about these things, encourage the troops, praise them, promote them, and talk about this thing more, because it needs to be talked about, most especially France that keep sponsoring terrorism. I do believe one thing, that if Russia gets out of the war with Ukraine, I think things will be a lot more easier, because there will now be full focus on the AES. Ladies and gentlemen, drop your opinion in the comment section below. It's your boy 7200 signing out, enough said. But before I go, see you guys on the next video.